everybody, I'm Blitz, and I've partnered up with Paradox to bring you a few tutorials on their newest game, Surviving the Aftermath. It's a new early access colony survival game and it's now available. And with that said, today we're going to open up our minds and learn about the gate and other special events that can happen in and around your colony. So if you no longer want to be a little hermit nation, you can open up your colony to the rest of the world. Unfortunately, the gate that marks the entrance to your colony has collapsed and you need to repair it. Once you repair that gate, the gate acts as a landmark to be seen from a long way away. It attracts traders and survivors looking for a place to make their lives better, as well as others with ill intentions. As you continue playing through the game, you'll require more workers and carriers to complete the tasks that you've ordered. The fastest way to gain additional colonists is by accepting new survivors that appear at your gate. In addition, specialists can join your colony, and they'll go explore the world map for you, bringing back resources that you cannot otherwise get within your colony. But be very careful about who you accept. It's very easy to accept everyone, but you may only have enough food and shelter to take care of your current colonists. Survivors who are seeking shelter may also show up at your gates with injuries and sicknesses, but they might have some very important supplies that you really need. So it's your job to balance wisely and choose the best people to join your group. As you're building the gate, or even before that maybe, some special events may have occurred in your colony. These events can bring life and storyline into your game. I've personally seen events like people yelling at each other in a tent. There's sinkholes that can open underneath the buildings, and maybe someone has invented a new trap and wants to test it out by going and hunting rabbits. Events can have both good and bad outcomes. Some can be quite dangerous if you don't have the proper resources that the colonists request, but some of the events can have very, very good outcomes, especially if you get some food when your colony is starving. But I'm going to let you explore these events on your own, because I don't really want to spoil it, because they're kind of exciting to encounter. In addition to the internal events, events can happen at your gate. Traders and trade caravans may bring you new seeds or hard-to-acquire resources. Travelers may offer you a tough moral trade choice, or a group of survivors can ask to join your colony. Again, I don't want to spoil all of these for you, but go ahead and try them out. Now, you might have thought that this is a standard, like, build your colony, expand, explore, gather more resources, bring it back, and expand again. But it's kind of different. There are 4 different catastrophes that can occur at any time in your base. They're all really tough to live through, but there are ways to prevent the damage, and we're going to go through that right now. The magnetic storm shuts down power production and short circuits components. That's right, we can build electrical buildings, and the electrical energy producing buildings like solar panels and wind turbines may get shut down and damaged. Anything connected to the electrical grid may also take damage as well. The best way to weather this storm is by having the proper amount of battery racks to keep your colony running. The second catastrophe is the pandemic. No, this isn't a zombie survival game, this is more of a plague. It starts with a cough, then spreads to a fever. The next thing happens is people just straight up die. The pandemic comes in waves, you gotta treat colonists before they all die. Antibiotics can speed up the healing, so try to find them in the world map, and it's a good idea to have enough beds in your medical buildings to treat the sick colonists. You can also shut down non-essential buildings like the scrapper and the sawmill to get a few extra hands to help out with the sick. And make sure you have enough medical beds to treat everyone. The third catastrophe is the meteor shower. It's not quite as bad as the other 3, but the sky turns bright red as falling rocks plummet through the atmosphere directly onto your colony. Larger meteorites can hit the buildings for serious damage, so build better shelters as soon as you unlock the technology to keep your colonists safe. Also make sure you have a good supply of resources close by for repairs when the need arises. And it wouldn't be a game about surviving an aftermath without some sort of nuclear event, right? So the sky turns to toxic green and the air burns the lungs of your colonists. Nuclear fallout has arrived, and from my hours of playing, this is by far the most devastating disaster. The fallout gives radiation sickness to your colonists, so make sure they have good housing, like we talked about in the previous housing and shelter tutorial, and make sure they have clothing so they're a little bit more protected from the elements. Crops also die and wither away when you're unable to plant more seeds until this event is over. So make sure you force your colonists to harvest the crops early and reassign the farmers to your medical buildings. And make sure you have enough space in your medical beds to treat all of the radiation sickness. Thankfully, the greenhouses continue to work in the fallout event, but they're still susceptible to other disasters, so don't rely solely on greenhouses. Anyway, this concludes our 4th tutorial on surviving the aftermath. In the next tutorial, we'll dive deep into the world map and how to use the specialists. So may your trades be successful and your colony survives.